Afternoon, Team Harcourts. I hope that you are really great on this Monday afternoon and that your Monday has been good so far, that you're feeling optimistic and positive and filled with good energy. Thank you very much for joining me in the Zoom session to look at the use of area data and stats in positioning ourselves as an area specialist and to really have great conversations with homeowners on what's been happening in the market and to also guide them on market value of their properties and to have proper conversations on that. And the thought to have a conversation around this or to go into more depth on this topic today was sparked by two recent kind of one was a conversation and the other one was an observation that I had. So the conversation was that I had with Dave Rattle, who works in Noordhoek for the Harcourts to Oceans team. And Dave has been a real estate specialist for quite a few decades, and still till to this day, he analyzes his market so in such detail where he knows exactly of every single property that comes onto the market, and he has a spreadsheet. He works with his wife, Anne Rattle, in their team. So it's Dave and Anne Rattle. So the two of them capture all this data of new properties that come onto the market onto a spreadsheet. And with this information, Dave has told me in a recent conversation that he has fantastic conversations with his homeowners on the market and value. Also, with Michael Pashley's role play, his listing presentation that we saw recently, last week and the week before, he uses the market data and stats so effectively in his conversation with his homeowner to negotiate, to also not only to negotiate on his fee, but also to guide the homeowner in terms of market value. So I thought that it would be really good for us to focus on what can we do and why should we do it to analyze our markets really well so that we can be really the area specialist of choice. So let's see how we go. This page on your screen could be a page, or you could have something similar in your pre-list or your listing presentation where you say to your homeowner that in the past 6 months, 60% of properties on the market in your neighborhood have sold within a 62-day period. 35% of homes remain unsold. Because I totally commit to providing my clients exceptional service by focusing on exclusive mandate marketing, I sell 90% of my mandates within an average period of 37 days. The average listing in the current market sells for 90% of asking price. I have achieved 97.2% of asking price. And below here on the screen, you can see most recent sales. So I have taken this out of an example of a pre-list presentation, but this is an agent's unique value proposition. My question to you today is, what is your unique value proposition? Or you can call it your unique selling proposition. Do you have something like this in your pre-list or your listing presentation that you can present to your homeowner where they can see that you are different from the other agents in the marketplace? You can actually show the stats of your successes. And I always say to our new agents that are new in the industry, if you don't have your own stats yet, you can, as an office, build stats like this for your office. Another example is what we've seen with Michael Pashley in his listing presentation. This is a page that comes directly out of the Harcourts Platinum listing presentation. And we saw Michael use this in his role play. And here we can see that the one line says percentage of sole mandates sold. Harcourts Platinum sells 87% of the sole mandates, and the market sells 50% of the sole mandates. Average percentage drop in price. Harcourts Platinum has an average percentage price drop of 3.6% versus the market's 7.5%. And so it goes on. Percentage sold at full asking price. 32% of Harcourts Platinum's properties sell at full asking price, and the market 10% of properties at full asking price. Days on the market and percentage sold to Harcourts buyers. So you get the idea. You get the idea how it's so important to use stats in your listing presentation, really just to differentiate yourself, from the marketplace. So if we can ask, but why is it that we want to do that? We know that Harcourts' mission is to provide an exceptional level of service to our homeowners. So why not? If this is our mission, and we believe that as consummate professionals and area specialists, we need to know our market. We cannot not know our market so that we can provide our clients with exceptional service. And also, our mission is to dominate our marketplaces. For your office, for you as an agent, and for Harcourts, it is really our objective to dominate the market and to hold major market share. And that is, those are really important reasons why we need to understand the market and analyze the market. So we can ask ourselves today, who has access to data and stats? If you think about everything that's going on in your marketplace, who has access to data and stats? Probably the answer is everyone. Everyone has access to data and stats. Your homeowner, the average homeowner today, has such a good understanding of their area. And again, we never want to be in a position where our homeowner knows more about what's going on in an area than we do. They have access to information that's made available by various different platforms, but mainly of properties that have sold. We can really have the benefit of analyzing the market of every property that comes onto the market. So there we have a big differentiator. But data and stats is readily available to everyone. So the question that we can probably again ask ourselves is, who has the edge? And the answer is, the one with the most detailed stats has the edge. If we take marketing and we take personality and we take all those things aside, if we just look at area information, then the one with the most detailed stats has the edge. A few conferences ago, it was probably about 2015, Johnny Lynn, who is consistently one of the top 50 Harcourt sales agents for Harcourts in the world. He's in Queensland, in Australia. He was in a panel discussion with Jason Hutton and one other individual. I think it was Bob Wolf. And it came out that Johnny focuses on about 500 properties. That's his focus area. That's his specialist area. But the thing is he knows the data and the stats in that area so well. And there's not one homeowner in his area that can tell him things that he doesn't know about the area. And that is so critically important. That was just confirmation again of the importance of knowing your area, knowing your stats. So the one that has the most detailed stats has the edge. If we consider the benefit that a experienced agent has over a person that just entered the market, we got to agree that the experienced agent should be in a position, having collated area data and stats over time, that experienced agent is in a stronger position than a rookie that's just coming into the market. But if you are an experienced agent today and you don't include this, or you don't have this area data and stats available that you can use in a conversation with your homeowner, what is differentiating you from an agent that's just entering the market? So I want to encourage you to see the difference. And for you as a rookie agent listening in today, I want you to also believe that you can start with this today. There's nothing to hold you back to start build up this information, to start collating this area information and stats. That's really important to know that differentiation between an experienced agent and a rookie. If I ask you today, what are your long-term business goals? Hopefully you'll be able to give me an idea of what your long-term business goals are. I'm sure that you are also familiar with the Pareto principle. The Pareto principle is also referred to as the 80-20 rule. On the left of the screen, the percentage of agents in the marketplace shows that there's a difference, usually a difference like an 80-20 split between agents in the marketplace. And on the right, it's the percentage of the market that those agents hold. And really just in simple terms, what it says is that the 80% of the agents in the market on the left, 80% of the agents in the market will do 20% of the business, will hold 20% market share. And on the left, 20% of the agents in the marketplace will write 80% of the business or will hold 80% market share. That is the Pareto principle. So if I ask you what your long-term business goals are, the question really is where do you see yourself over time? Do you see yourself as part of the 20% of the agents that write 80% of the business, or do you see yourself as part of the 80% that write 20% of the business? And again, we all have different aspirations. You might be in this business for a different reason, and you might find different levels of satisfaction than the next agent. So we're not all the same, and we all have different aspirations. I absolutely get that. But if your aspiration, if your long-term business goal is to be as good as you can be, to be the best agent that you can be, and you want to be part of that 20% of agents that write 80% of the business, then you've got to know your market. You've got to understand your market. And again, guys, I know that many of you are doing a phenomenal job on capturing your market statistics. And fantastic. Kudos to you. And I take my hat off to you, because it's hard work. It requires commitment, dedication. And if you ask yourself, where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years? Then pretty much that follows on that question that I asked yourself, because this business is all about a long-term goal, isn't it? It's not a race, it's a marathon. We call it farming. We plant a seed today, we water it so that hopefully that plant can bear fruit in time to come. But we got to have a long-term vision for our business, and we got to know why. Do you really know why you want to achieve that? If you say that my objective, my 5 to 10 year goal, is to be very successful as a real estate professional, because this is what I want to do, these are the things that I want to experience, or these are my whys. You're clear about your why, so you have something that pulls you. You have that driver. You know where you're working towards. So again, I'm just laying a little bit of a foundation so that we can have a very good understanding of why we're doing these things, so that we can achieve our objective. The question is, do you stand any chance without knowing what's going on in your specialist area? If you want to be a top 20% agent, do you stand any chance if you don't know what's going on in your specialist area? That's just a question that you can ponder over. Because it requires effort. It really requires effort for us to analyze the market and to understand the market. And that is why so few agents actually do it. So let's look at how we can do this. First of all, we got to believe that to become an area specialist, you've got to be able to drill deep and not wide. I had a conversation with one of our successful colleagues in the Eastern Cape recently, where he expressed to me his challenge around having conversations on price with his homeowners, because he's so thinly spread around the town that he works in. And the challenge is that if we don't focus on a manageable area, if we don't zone in or hone in on that specialist area, we're going to be really hard pressed to have stats and data for a really, really big area. So look at your area and ask yourself, am I drilling deep? Am I making the effort to find the stats, to find the data? Or am I too thinly spread over too big an area and I don't know what's going on anywhere in these markets? And whenever I get the request from a homeowner to do a market assessment, it takes me so much time to put all of this information together that it becomes a very laborious process. So guys, I think first of all, I want to encourage you to believe in the value of being an area specialist. Then to analyze your market is also then the process that what we're going to do to become that area specialist. And this is what we do. So when we talk about analyzing market, we're talking about to have an understanding of the total number of properties in your area. That goes without saying. And I would imagine that all of you know how many properties are in a specific neighborhood or in the area that you work in. Analyzing the market also includes knowing every new property that comes onto the market. We know that is so important because I need to have conversations with these homeowners. If a new property is listed today, I want to be able to contact that homeowner to inquire on the status of the property, to also possibly list that property. Analyzing the market also includes knowing every property that is sold. If a property sells in my area, I got to know when did it sell and what was the selling price. And analyzing the market also includes every property that remains unsold. So for headline aspects of analyzing your market, If we look at the total number of properties in the area, this is one resource that I just took a screen print of Lightstone. And Lightstone shows there that in the area called, I think this was an area in Belleville called Oakdale, if I'm not mistaken, then this is the total number of properties, 1,924. We see that there are freeholds and sectional titles, and there we have that total number of properties. If we also continue to analyze other aspects of Lightstone, we can see that the total number of property transferred in the past 3 months and in the past 12 months. If you look at what we have there on the screen, repeat sales, and there we have first-time registrations. Now, under repeat sales, this gives us a 3-month period, January till March, and this is for the last 12 months, April till March. And right at the bottom, we can see that in the past 12 months, 99 properties transferred in this specific area. The total market value was 140 million rand, and the average selling price over the past 12 months was 1.422 million, 1,422,000 rand. So on the left, you can also see that there are properties that are developed and properties that is land only. So that is a screen print of a Lightstone report which shows you the total number of transfers in the past 12 months. So if we would take the total number of properties that transferred, which is 99, and we divide them by the total number of properties that are in that specific area or in that specific neighborhood, which was 1,924, we can see that the churn in that neighborhood was 5.15% in the past 12 months. So we need to understand, we need to be able to tell our homeowner, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, in the past 12 months, 5% of properties actually sold in this neighborhood. It's not to say that only 5% of properties came onto the market, because that's another analysis that I need to do, but I need to understand the percentage of properties that have actually transferred. Now, the question is often, what should I do to know of properties that come onto the market? Because what I just showed you in these Lightstone reports, this is historical data. This is data that I pull from the deeds office and of properties that have actually already transferred. Properties that are on the market now, I would suggest that if you haven't done this yet, and I know that as you're listening, most of you have actually done this and you do this, but you have to register yourself on a platform like Property 24. Property 24, because I'm not aware of any agency in South Africa that doesn't list on Property 24 at the moment. It remains a very powerful portal. So you sign up, you create an account on Property 24, and then you can create alerts. So you can create alerts for yourself, and you set your criteria. So in this case, I set criteria for an area in Newlands, any property type, any price, any bedrooms, any bathrooms, and I created that on the 17th of April. So that is my criteria. Go to P24 and set yourself up as a buyer, because this is what buyers do. Buyers create criteria on a platform like P24, and as you know, buyers can also create buyer criteria on harcourse.co.za and many other platforms. And you will be notified of every new property that comes onto the market in that specified suburb or specified area that you've just specified on Property 24. So you'll receive those emails. And once you've received the email of this new listing that has come onto the market, you'll be able to then go to that email, click on the listing, and it will open P24, or it will open the property for you. And again, on the screen is just a screen print of what I see now. You're all very familiar with what P24 looks like. And this is just a property where I can see the price, the address in Oakdale, and 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It has a garage, and the plot is 490 square meters in size. So if I go into that property, as you know, you get a more detailed analysis or a detailed breakdown of what that property offers. And I can also see that in Oakdale, currently there are 26 properties on the market. You all know where to look on P24 to see how many properties are currently on the market. So I know now, if I sit with a homeowner, I can say that currently, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, there are 26 properties on the market in this specific area, and I'm starting to now unpack my data that I can share with my homeowner. Now on the screen it says build relationships with other agents. There is a lot of information that will not be available to us. If you see a property advertised on P24 and you find out from the homeowner that the property was just sold recently, the homeowner might not say to you, they might not tell you how much the property sold for. And for that reason, it is very good to have relationships with other agents and to invest in those relationships, because we need information from other agents to be able to build our stats, our data. Next time we list a property and we sell that property, if another agent contacts us for information, we can give them also that information. So most of the information is available on P24 of properties that are currently on the market. But when a property sells, let's say a property sells yesterday, I might only get that information from that agent until the property transfers through the deeds office. Only then will I be able to get that information from the deeds office. But until then, I can only get that selling price either from the agent that sold the property or from the homeowner. So I got to be able to ask those questions so that I can build my data. Now, so as we analyze the market and as we analyze past sales and also current properties on the market, we got to capture that data and we got to be updating that daily. So capturing the data, this is where the rubber hits the road. And this is where where the wheels comes off, guys. That's where the effort comes in to capture the data. And I want to show you an example of an Excel spreadsheet that is built to achieve exactly this. Now you can obviously use your own way, or I'll be more than happy, very, very happy to share this Excel spreadsheet with you. But the way that it works is that you will have your columns. So if I can just show you through the screen that I have, or through this Excel spreadsheet that I have on the screen, you will see that there's a column for address, a column for the suburb, a column for the date that the property was listed, a column for the listing price, a column for the sales price, a column for the sales date, a column for the list to sales ratio, days on the market, days, a column for the earth square meterage, a column for the house square meterage, number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, number of recreational areas, number of studies. The LUG stands for lock-up garage, number of lock-up garages. Who listed the property? Was it the market or was it Harcourts? The M in my case is for the market, any agency in the market other than Harcourts. The H is for Harcourts. So it goes down. Is the mandate an open mandate, a sole mandate, or a joint mandate? So the O is for open mandate, S for sole mandate, the J is for joint mandate. You can obviously use your own abbreviations, your own initials. The title, is it a freehold? Is it sectional title? So in this column, you can see freehold or sectional title. And what type of property is it? Is it a house, a townhouse, a flat, or an earth? The H is for house, the T for townhouse, the F for flat, and the E for earth. And then there's also another column that says, is the property sold? Yes. Or if it's not sold, then I don't even put in an N. I just have a Y next to the sold. And then there could be a column. There has to be a column for owner. I can put in the owners here, the contact numbers, the email addresses, and the contact trail. Let me just move my little video key there. The contact trail. So here I can have a record of the conversations that I have with those homeowners. But here H1 comes in very handy because I can use the contact history as a resource to update my contact with those homeowners. Now on this Excel spreadsheet, you can see that this information, that these rows are populated with properties that have come onto the market in Oakdale. So here I have the addresses. In 2019, the dates that they were listed and the listing prices and the dates that they were sold. Sorry, not the dates, the prices that they were sold. So from there, from the listing price and the sold price, I get my listing to sales price ratio. So in this case, this property sold for 90% of asking price. The 1.3 million rand is 90% of the 1.45 million. And so it goes on. But in this row, to Ati Hofman, you can see that the property is on the market for 2.35 million and it hasn't sold yet. It's been on the market for 258 days. So the property has not sold yet, and we only have an asking price. And when the property was listed on the 6th of August. And here we have all the information again of what those properties offer. So you get the idea. You enter this information, and the trick here is just to do it daily. If a new property comes onto the market in your area, all it requires is for you to make a new entry in the spreadsheet, and it will probably take you 20 minutes to capture that property. After you've been alerted of the new property that has come onto the market, and you've gone into the property, let's say on P24, you've looked at what the property offers, you come to your spreadsheet and you make that entry, you fill in the different information on that property. Now you'll probably have to either use Lightstone or you have to use one of the other platforms where you get access to the homeowner. There are different platforms that our officers use to get access to the contact details of the homeowner. Because Lightstone will show us who the homeowner is, but we might not have their contact information. And then we want to make a phone call to them. So all of that could probably not take you more than 20 minutes in a day. And that is really the time requirement. But the beauty of this is as you keep this information going, as you keep populating your spreadsheet or whatever you use to capture the data that's happening in your marketplace, right at the bottom of this Excel spreadsheet, you can see this is my data page, and here I have my stats. So I have now worked this data into stats, and what I can see is that the average price drop for my office on sole managed properties is I sell at 98% of asking price. So that's actually not a price drop, but I sell at 98% of asking price, whereas the market on open and joint mandates sell at 91% of asking price. The average number of days on the market for my office is 66.5 days, whereas the market is 97.2 days. The percentage of full asking price, 27% of my sole mandates or of our office's sole mandates sold at full asking price. And my analysis showed that the market's sole mandates sell at 9%, or sorry, 9% of the market's open and joint mandates sell for full asking price. If we look at the percentage of sole mandates sold, the analysis also shows that our office sells 92% of our sole mandates, whereas the market sells 83% of sole mandates. So this is the stats that we use that we present then to our homeowner. So if I just go back to our little presentation, you will remember that slide that I showed you of Harcourt's Platinum. This is the information that Michael used so skillfully in his conversation with a homeowner to talk about price, to talk about their fee, and to negotiate and to structure his conversation around so many aspects in the conversation with a homeowner. And these stats prove to be extremely, extremely important in his conversation with that homeowner. So if we look at sharing this information with our homeowner, it's obviously to build credibility and trust with a homeowner. When we share this information with a homeowner, it's to negotiate with them. It's to be able to negotiate on our fee, to be able to command the best fee that we possibly can. And if we share this information with a homeowner and we can build credibility and trust, we stand a much better chance to win the mandate, to win the business. So I hope that you guys can really see the value in that. Again, if you're doing it, brilliant, keep going. If you know that this is an area that's lacking in your business, I want to encourage you today to pick it up, to get going on that. So just a few things to consider. We've got to plan this. We've got to diarize this. If you don't have a time in your diary that you've set aside to analyze new properties that have come onto the market today, and have the time to then capture the data in your spreadsheet, it's not going to happen. But I also want to encourage you to remember that this is what we call a non-dollar productive activity. It is something that an admin person can also do for you, because as a sales professional, your biggest duty is to be out there meeting with clients, sitting with your homeowners, listing new properties. But if you don't have a PA or an admin person that can pick up this role, then you got to do it yourself. But then you got to schedule it in times that's outside of your dollar productive activity hours, which are then, let's say, from 8 till 5, 8 till 6, 8 till 7, where you can actually meet with clients. So if you don't have a PA or an admin person that can do this for you, I want to encourage you to find times in your day that are outside of your dollar productive hours. You know what I mean? And I also want to encourage you not to get bogged down by the admin, because we can become easily very how does the saying go? We can become so heavily pulled into analysis and sitting in front of our computers for hours. It shouldn't take a lot of time. We shouldn't take a lot of time. You don't want to get yourself bogged down by this. It should be quick. It should be every day, but just quick, go, go, go. So I want to encourage you, if you schedule it for every day, you're going to find that you're going to develop a habit. It's going to be a matter of doing a little, a lot, because if it happens every day, it happens a lot, but you do it in small bits. If you do it every day, you probably don't have more than 1 or 2 properties that come onto the market every single day in your area. If I consider that Oakdale area that we looked at, out of 1,900 properties, there are only 26 properties currently on the market. So if I had to capture a property a day over 26 days, I would have captured all those properties. So if you have one new property that comes onto the market on average a day, it's just a matter of capturing that every day. So do a little, a lot, and develop habits. It will become a habit. Don't you think that now is a great time to do this? Capitalize on this lockdown period to analyze your market and to capture that information. I have no idea what you're currently busy with, but hopefully you are focused on your business. Hopefully you look at areas of your business that might have fallen by the wayside, or that might have been put on the back burner for some time. Hopefully you're having conversations with your homeowners. Hopefully you're reaching out to people, speaking to your sellers, speaking to buyers. But as far as analyzing your market goes, now is a great time. We have the time now, guys. I want to encourage you to do that. So remember, success is a process. It's a journey, isn't it? Rome wasn't built in one day. And if we can start today, if you haven't started this yet, start today. Start analyzing the market, see what is currently on the market in your area, and build a spreadsheet. Find a process where you can capture this information. But really, success is not a destination. It's all part of this process and of a journey that we're on. And as far as differentiation goes, we know that differentiation is about clearly pointing out why our service is superior. Customers buy what they perceive to be the best choice. You might have a great personality. You might have all the charm in the world. You might have great marketing, beautiful office, a nice looking car, all those things. But if another agent can show that they have a better understanding of the market, they have better stats, better data and better stats than you have, they might just have the edge. So why not give yourself the full edge by also making the effort to collate your stats and or to collate the data and to collate the stats. So I want to wish you guys all the best in this journey. Please know that any of this information is available. Any of these resources are available to you. You can just email me. I will make this available to your business owners. I will send out this Excel spreadsheet, and you're welcome to use this to capture your data. But if there's another way that works better for you, then go for it. But like Nike said, just do it. Just do it. There is really nothing difficult about it. It's just the effort that it requires. And you'll be one of a very small percentage of agents that are actually going to be doing this, because it requires effort. So guys, thank you very, very much for your time today. I wish you all of the best out in the marketplace. Stay healthy, stay happy, and I will chat to you soon. If there's anything that you need from me, please don't hesitate to contact me or any of our Harcourt's head office colleagues. Thanks for your time. Have a great afternoon. Cheers.